This episode of Jumbled is brought to you by Audible. Head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and get your free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. They've got over 180,000 different titles for you to choose from for your iPhone, Android, Kindle, or if you have just a Zune, or if you have a record player. They actually just did vinyl stuff, so that's not true. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Jumbled, your favorite podcast about nothing. I'm Zach. And Johnny's computer is still out of commission. Can you believe that? Technical problems with Jumbled? No way. Nobody would have called this. Not in a million years. Definitely not me. Definitely didn't already call that last week. I'm just kidding. I literally didn't. Just didn't realize that Johnny's computer was still down for the count till yesterday. So we haven't done a Jumbled rewind in a while. So I figured... today would be this week rather would be a good time to release a rewind. The one that we're going to go with is, it's episode 121, right? We're going back, right now I think we're at like 165, maybe this is 165 or 66, it doesn't matter, but you guys can see what episode number it is. But this one is called My Podcaster Wife. This was the first time that my wife was on the podcast, I believe. It's always good to get a female's perspective, and my wife is pretty rad, so she's super fun on the podcast. And I felt like it'd be good to harken back to Better Times 2019. Can you guys remember that? Before all this quarantine business. Actually, I'm thriving, but I know a lot of you guys are hating life, and I understand, right? Speaking of my wife, she is extroverted, so this quarantine stuff has been more difficult on her than it has on me. But regardless, let's jump into episode 121, My Podcaster Wife. Hopefully, Johnny has his computer fixed for next week, but there's no promises. Maybe we'll have my podcaster wife on again. Who knows? We'll see. We'll see what happens. But I hope you guys enjoy this one. A little blast from the past. Episode 121, My Podcaster Wife. Let's get to it. What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to Jumbled, your favorite podcast about nothing. I'm Zach, and Johnny has a sinus infection this week. We were slated to record up until about, 2 hours ago, and then he told me that he just wasn't going to be up for it this week, and that's totally fine. I did find a stand-in replacement, though. We don't have many female voices on this podcast. It tends to be a dude party. But I thought that we would get me in a little bit of hot water, potentially. We'll see, Johnny. We got some surprises here. Anyway, this is my wife, Stephanie. Hi, Stephanie. How are you?
Oh, hello, honey. How are you?
I'm doing great. It's good to see you. I've been seeing you all afternoon.
It's wonderful.
How do you feel about being on the podcast? It's been going for 2 years, and you've shown up on like a couple episodes where you've like walked down the stairs and you're like, hey.
I did like the interrupting where I obviously know that you're recording, but my give a shit's pretty much gone. I'm just like, answer my questions now. Yeah. And I will excuse myself for the rest of the evening.
Yeah, there's no sanctity in the podcast room.
None.
Well, I thank you for stepping in, because I did a solo podcast this past week. Mm-hmm. And, the solo podcasts always go a little bit awry, I find. It's hard to carry a conversation on with yourself.
They're clearly very one-sided conversations.
Do you listen to the podcast?
I think I've listened to like 5 of them.
How many? Okay, have most of them been in the Joe or Johnny era?
No, I've listened to quite a few, actually. I always like to keep up and make sure you're not completely embarrassing yourself so I can help you reel it back in. But,
Well, I must be doing okay, because you don't really...
I'm just curious, because, like, when you're doing your solo podcast, it's only your mouth that's talking, and we don't really get to hear the voices inside of your head, and you never really translate.
Oh, Well,
what they're saying.
The voices inside of my head are what come out during the solo podcast.
Duly noted.
That's it, because I have to let the voices inside my head out, otherwise I'm talking to nobody.
Well, I really feel like you need to help us on those solo podcasts by, like, either altering your voice or tone or pitch to represent the inner voice, and then the outer voice, so we can distinguish between the two.
We gotta come up with a name for them.
You gotta have deep respect for the inner voice.
You do. Do you have inner voices in your head?
I do. Yeah. I have a lot of them, actually.
Yeah?
Some of them are scarier than others. Some of them I really answer to, like, when I finally hit the bottom of the tequila bottle, and we all know that that's a terrible idea.
Yeah, I definitely know. Oh, there's my cat. We
have another guest on the show this evening. This is Leona.
Leona, if you didn't notice there, the cat walked directly in front of the microphone and got in the way of all of the... Okay.
She's just very insistent of my attention.
Yep, she's here. And there she goes. She probably rubbed against the microphone there. This is...
Meow, meow, meow.
This is good podcasting. Okay, so in Johnny's absence, he's not completely absent. He sent me some questions about me. So
now he's more like producer, editor status at this point,
yeah,
right?
But he's not, you know.
Producer, editor, writer status.
But he's not. I mean, he's okay, producer, whatever. Cat, you are being a complete twat right now.
Come here, meow, meow, meow,
meow. Meow, meow, meow.
That's
the cat
translation, it was, please step off the table, we love you.
Stop being an asshat. So, yeah, Johnny is not a... I might be able to give him producer status. I am not willing to give him editor status because Johnny is not editing this thing. I've been editing this podcast for 2 years. Joe didn't even edit this podcast.
Fair.
Yeah. Anyway, so Johnny is... he's here, but he's not with questions.
He's here in spirit.
Yeah.
He's here in our heart.
First of all...
Deep in our heart place.
Deep in our heart place, which happens to be, I think, here.
Oh, really? That's deep.
I'm pointing to my stomach. It's down there, right?
Okay.
That's the way to my heart.
I just feel for the coldest place, and then I know that's where my heart is. Continue.
Just a cold cavern. So the first thing I want to say about Johnny, and I always have to critique this, Johnny always uses OU instead of just, you know, like a very...
Which I hear through all of our European and Canadian friends that is the most proper way to...
Yeah, but, you know...
And Australian friends.
Sure, but it's...
Natalie.
Yeah, but it's not favorite, right? You know?
See, anyway. When two vowels go walk-in, the first does the talkin'.
Oh, okay. I did not learn these things. I learned this is how you spell favorite, and then I spelled it, and then it was
cultured.
Right. All right. You know what? My eyes have been opened. No longer will I
can show you the vowels.
Thank you.
Oh, and you, they go together.
Do they? Mm-hmm. So how do you spell it? Do you spell it?
No, I try to fit in and spell it the American way, but I secretly get off when I'm reading, like, British novels and I see OU, and I'm like...
Get a little bit of tingles.
I get the tingles.
In the nether regions.
I get the tingles on the OUs.
Okay, so Johnny literally sent me these right before, well, I guess it's been a little over an hour ago, while you were out doing shopping for cleaning stuff that we didn't use tonight.
Great contemplations.
Yeah.
There were really good intentions with that shopping.
Great intentions, and then you came home, and then, you know, you're home, right? You want to relax.
That's right.
Yeah. You know, sometimes when I'm on the podcast, especially right now, I feel like, you remember the Sweaty Balls?
Yes.
The Sweaty Balls skit where we're like talking. And especially right now, I'm trying to stay far back from the mic because I've got like the mic set up differently so that it's capturing more sound.
Oh, really?
So I feel like I'm talking in a quieter voice, you know?
Like all really soft and gentle.
Right.
I really like your Sweaty Balls.
Yeah. Are you Molly Shannon?
Who am I?
In that.
Am I a Molly Shannon?
I don't know. I always thought you were more of a Sherry O'Terry. Sherry O'Terry.
Yeah, you know. I take that as compliments most high because she is one badass woman.
Yes, she is.
All right.
So I'm going to get right into these questions. We have gone on to a jumbled tangent, as is, the standard.
I enjoy bunny trails.
Yes, and there are tons of them. So let's just jump right into it, shall we? First question, right off the bat. What is your favorite thing about Zach?
The beard.
The beard. Is that really your favorite thing?
Well, I mean, there's
or is
so
that
many.
Just like
there's so many favorites. So I mean, that's the first thing I think about. But we can toss out about a dozen different categories, and I will probably have a favorite of each category.
Okay, but it's sort of like the NCAA bracket, right? Mm-hmm. You got all the contenders, right? Mm-hmm. And then they all battle themselves down to the last. There's only one winner. What's the one thing that is your favorite about me?
I feel like the beard prevails over a lot of things.
Fair. Mm-hmm. That's fair. Yeah, I could rule an army with this beard.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
It's got so much, like, different colors to it. Uh-huh. It's got a lot of dynamics to it.
Well, I did bleach it, and I'm doing a Dennis Rodman thing right now where I paint it different every day.
Is that why you're wearing a wedding veil right now?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, also that. And I got on stilettos, but you don't see those.
You know, I wasn't going to judge because they really make your butt look good, but...
I got fishnets on, too. That's okay. Okay, so second question. What do you find most attractive about Zach? Now, you already mentioned the beard, so you can't just say the beard for every question.
But what if that is the answer to every question?
This podcast is going to be very boring.
The beard.
Okay, moving on.
What is your favorite food? The beard.
I do eat it pretty much. Especially with the mustache longer.
Yes.
Like when I'm eating a sandwich or something, it like gets pulled in with the sandwich when I take a bite.
It's just added fiber is how I consider it.
Yeah.
Well, keratine's really good for you.
I lose it all the time when I'm like running my fingers through it. And I
thoroughly enjoy the extra seasoning when you're doing the cooking in the evening.
You're welcome. Mm-hmm. You're welcome. The least flavorful ones are the gray ones.
That's true.
Yeah. What drives you nuts about Zach?
The beard. I'm just kidding. I don't know. What drives me nuts?
There's 4 U's, by the way, in the word nuts.
Oh, nuts. I don't know. Lately, I think we've been doing a lot of like figuring out between each other in life in general.
Sure.
And I think there's been definitely more honesty from you, which has been very refreshing. Uh-huh. But I think I realize how much you read pretty deeply into things instead of just accepting the answer for what it is, right? Mm-hmm. Which, as we took the 16 personalities test, right? Mm-hmm. Pretty awesome. I'm like, why is this too spot on in my life? But I read up on your, what is it, INFJ or whatever?
INFJ, yeah.
Which I guess is like a pretty rare persona.
Mm-hmm. I'm a pretty rare guy. Wink, wink.
Yeah, see, that's why you got the unicorn horn. But I read up on that, and that's kind of like a typical trait of that particular personality. Yeah. Is like they tend to think more about certain things than they should. Mm-hmm. They read too much into stuff. I think sometimes that carries a negative connotation, but I think sometimes that also represents a real like deep thinker, you know?
Yeah.
So anyway. That's my 2 cents.
SpaghettiOs.
Mm-hmm. So when you're like, you know, you think too deep about certain things, but then it doesn't come to be truth, and then I try to like correct the perception. Mm-hmm. I think the annoying part of all that isn't the deep thinking or thinking too much of something. It's the, okay, no, I'm telling you, this is what I intend. So don't believe your perception, believe my intention.
Yeah.
Makes sense?
It does. We're like basically opposites on the I think we share one letter.
Oh, yeah.
We share one letter. I can't remember which. Is it the N?
It's the N.
Yeah. Which is the well, it's not, so E and I is extrovert and introvert.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if you guys can tell that I'm introverted, because I like to think that I have a pretty good persona on the podcast.
He's got a very bold personality, but he's definitely a wallflower.
Yes. That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
What does the N stand for?
I can't remember. Let's look it up.
All right. While you're looking that up, I want to say I'm pretty sure Johnny's going to be back next week, and I keep saying that. Johnny was in Japan for a month, and then he came back for a week, and then he had some stuff going on, and then I had to do the solo, and then intuitive,
which is really weird. So you choose an N for a word that starts with I.
Well, you can't have I, right?
Then captain, yes, you can.
Yeah, the next thing has to be captain, right? Okay, so yeah, we're pretty much opposites, which, you know, I think there is something to that opposites attract, because we help each other out.
I think we also have a lot in common, too.
We do. We share a lot of common, you know, we like a lot of the same things. We laugh about a lot of the same things. Mm-hmm. We have a lot of the same viewpoints. We just get to them in different ways.
That's true. Yeah. I am an ENFJS. I guess there's like subtypes within each type as well.
Yeah, I never knew about that last subtype until.
So I'm an extroverted intuitor, feeler, judger, and you're an introverted intuitor, feeler, judger.
That's not true. Wait, is that true? Or am I like ISFPT or something?
I don't know. You should go look up your personality.
I should. I know that we only share like one letter. Anyway.
Okay.
We can get into that at some point later.
Noted.
But, okay, so that's what drives you nuts about me. This next one should be fun. And you can, by the way, on any of these, you have the ability to just say the word pickle. And that means that we're
Code word pickle, you son of a bitch.
Did I talk about that on the podcast?
I don't know.
I don't know if I did.
That's hilarious. We're going to have to circle that train because that is a funny story.
I picked a dude up. I drive Uber on the weekends. I think I've talked about that. I'm sure I have. And I was going to pick this guy up. I had not talked to this dude yet.
By the way, when you're driving for like Uber or Lyft or anything, you get a bunch of normal drivers throughout the evening, and then there's like this witching hour where it's like every drunk bastard where like all inhibitions have gone like through the drain, right? Yeah. Everything is just batshit crazy, and you never know what you're gonna catch. Yes. Right? So this was one of those scenarios where it was like creeping into the witching hour.
Oh yeah, he was I picked this guy up from a wedding reception, which you're always gonna get some drunk motherfuckers from a wedding reception. Oh, yeah. And so I picked this guy up. I'm on my way to pick him up. Had not talked to him. Some people call their passenger while they're on the way just to let them know. But I'm just like, they can open the app and see that I'm driving. Right. Like, they know I'm coming.
Beep, beep.
Right. Hop in, bitch. Let's go. Mm-hmm. So anyway, I'm on my way. I'm maybe 5 minutes out. And I get this message that says, the safe word is pickle, you son of a bitch. Nothing prompted this. No prompt at all. And I'm like, what does that mean? Like, is he want me to fuck him in the ass or something like that?
Or does he want to let you know that you can say pickles at any time while he's fucking you in the ass?
I mean, maybe. I'm more of a top, though.
Backdoor no babies. Let's just talk about it.
Backdoor no babies. Yeah. You can have butt babies.
Can you have butt babies? What does it look like? I don't want to know.
Oh, something else we got to bring up. It's talking about butthole babies. If you guys haven't been on Reddit recently,
that thread is ridiculous.
So,
disturbing.
First of all, NSFW. Don't go to it while you're sitting at your work computer listening to my voice because, hey, your IT department's going to flag you going to this website. Anyway.
Hey, you know that perv in receivables? Yeah, he just showed me this really awesome Reddit thread.
So it's reddit.com/r/running beehole challenge. Now, the whole premise of this is mostly women, but there was this one dude. They just like, it starts out, the camera is just sitting on a bed. They're nowhere to be seen. They turn a corner and they run towards the camera, jump, spread their legs wide open, vulva and asshole flying towards.
I thought I saw a couple of winks.
Probably.
I was like, did it just wink at me?
Yeah. And, that balloon knot gets really close.
Oh, my word.
Anyway, so there was one dude. It was the only dude submission I saw. Mm-hmm. And he jumped. And he did this weird CGI thing where his asshole hit the camera. And then
there's like this blackout moment, right? Where you're like, oh, the camera's too close. Now all of a sudden the camera's coming into focus.
Right. And you see like
traversing his inner asshole is really what it comes down to.
Yeah, and there's a baby inside of it, like a little baby.
Well, at first you see like this like glowing glowy white, right? And then it just shifts and all of a sudden you see two black beady eyes looking at you like, yo, brah, party of one in here.
So there's the butt baby.
That is the butt baby.
So apparently it can happen.
What is the gestation period of a butt baby?
24 hours.
24 hours?
Yeah. And they pop out, and they just live in the sewers. You know about this? That's how they clean the sewer system.
Weird.
It's a different thing, you know.
Welcome to the episode where we feed all of my nightmares.
Yeah, you should be careful about shitting now.
Oh, God. I've already had a nightmare shit this week.
You have, and you can tell that story if you want, or we can just leave it. But I will leave that up to you.
Are we doing the Q&A?
Yeah, we are, but we're on a tangent right now.
All the bunny trails.
Yes. So, by the way, safe word pickle. That's where we started.
Pickle.
Describe one of Zach's sexual fantasies.
So, he's really been on this, like, interesting, like, porno kick about, like, being the mysterious, like, taxi driver, and whoever's riding in the back seat doesn't have fare to pay their way. Yeah. And, of course, they pay through Putang.
Sure.
And, I don't know, I guess that totally gets your goat right now.
It does. I don't know what it is. And it's most of the time, it's all British people. I don't know what it is. But they're in, like, it's like, so there's the just the taxi cab.
How do you think they spell pussy over there? P-O-U-S-S-Y?
No, it's French.
Oh, okay. Pussy. I am so sorry. I cannot pay my fare right now. Maybe you want a little licky licky on my pussy?
Or it could be Italian, P-U-S-S-I.
Oh, yeah.
Just ends with the I, right?
Italians sound kind of like sexy and angry all at the same time.
It's like Spaniards, too. They're very similar. I would say the Spaniards probably more of the angry.
No, Germans are the very angry.
Well, yeah, Germans and Russians.
They could be blessing you and they still sound like they're cursing. Yeah.
That's a very hard sound to try to make soft.
No, yeah, I don't. Not even trying to learn German here. Okay.
Joe knows German. I took it for like 3 years in high school or something. He always talks about it. Gosh, whatever. Okay, so yeah, the taxi cab stuff does. I don't know what it is.
First of all, like,
it's mysterious. It's like
I've been watching this just to understand better. My first question is, how limber do you have to be in order to pull off that, like, interview? Or what do they call auditions, right? Mm-hmm. For any kind of movie parts. How limber do you have to be? Are you like yogi status in, like, your yoga class?
Yeah, it might be.
Are you like aerial artist? You know, those people who, like, ride the silk things hanging from the ceiling?
I'm trying to think what they call it.
Are you like circus freak status?
There's a surgery that usually teenage boys get, Tommy John surgery, when they're pitchers. They remove ligaments from their elbows so that they can throw more
so
and
we're just
longer.
Removing ligaments?
I think so. They're just removing ligaments from the porn stars.
Dr. Gumby at your service.
Yeah, fold me up.
Oh, my word.
I fit in a carry-on.
We're like origami status at this point.
Pretty much. But most of those taxi cab pornos happen in like a taxi van, so there's a lot more headroom.
Sure.
There's a lot more space in between the cab and the back, so they have room for like the dude to be on the ground and her to be up on. Because
there's some motion going on.
Right. And I think part of it's like she's like, oh, let me find a quiet spot too. So it's like we're still in the public eye. It's sort of dangerous.
But it's secret. There's this voyeuristic.
Yes, but anybody could find us at any time.
Yeah.
There's that aspect to it.
No, somebody's found you. It's called the cameraman. And he's pretty much riding your butthole, trying to get the right camera angle to get the thrust in frame.
No, see, that's the thing about the taxi
It's no
cab.
longer like a porn scene. This is straight up orgy. You just don't get to see the third person.
So the Taxi Cab Confessions, you obviously haven't watched very much.
Oh, I apologize.
Because they are stationary cameras. There's one that's like in the back, but it's like mounted up in the corner. And then there's one that's in the cab that looks
mounted.
Yes, I did. There's one that looks through the window towards the back, which usually the woman ends up with her head popping through and her tits in the front.
So how many of these cameras have you set up in taxis?
There's like 5 of them in my car right now.
That's your side hustle, is setting up porn cameras.
Yeah.
Are you the fluffer too?
Hey, you know,
gotta make it.
Hole's a hole, right? Mouth's a mouth.
Oh.
So every once in a while, in my car when I'm driving Uber, I get propositioned, and I did tell you about this.
Yes, I love like waking up in the middle of the night because I'm your partner. I worry about you, and even if I fall asleep or sleep really hard, like something in the middle of the night usually wakes me up, and I check messages or find a friend and see where you're at, and make sure you're not like dead in a field somewhere.
Yeah. Hasn't happened yet.
No, but I thoroughly enjoy, like, you're saying, oh my God, this one person just asked me to...
Yeah. So I picked these two girls up at a bar. And the first thing they're talking about when they hop in the car is that their nipples are hard. And they're talking, I'm just making, like, side comments. I'm like, oh, you could cut some glass right now, huh?
Oh, isn't that lovely?
It's like, oh, you could go cut some glass or whatever. And they start laughing or whatever. And they're like... oh, you want to go party or whatever? And I'm like, I don't think my wife would be too happy with me going to a party. And they're like...
and that's when they got disappointed.
Yeah, and then they pretty much just quiet the rest of the time. Mm-hmm. So I pretty much cock-blocked myself. But...
you did. At least you could have played along, because they wouldn't have known. You'd have been like, yeah, I'm totally driving us to the orgy party. Turn left at Rickman Road, okay.
Yeah, just kick
Here you go, drunken ladies who don't know any better. Come on out to the orgy, and then you just speed off.
The orgy's on the other side of the tree.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
If you speed off fast enough, you don't even have to wait for them to close the door, because the momentum of the physics of you speeding off so fast closes the door behind them.
See, I think what I'm going for, though, is I'm trying to keep that 5-star review. And if I speed off... when I promise to give them an orgy, and they don't get a fucking orgy, I'm getting a 1-star rating.
You're probably getting only a 3-star rating. I don't have you're sorry, I can't orgy. If you decline
that has not happened yet because I'm a charmer. I have a 5-star dick, though, is all I'm saying.
I can attest to this.
Okay. As long as we're on the same page there. Man, this is flying by, babe. You're doing a good job. If Zach was a superhero...
I got a gold star for that one.
Yes, you did. Thank you. And now you guys know that I'm not talking myself up.
Put it on the star chart.
Put it on star chart, yep. If Zach was a superhero, who would he be and why? So I assume that you have to pick from any of the available superheroes that are in existence.
Are we talking Marvel or DC?
I don't think it matters. Do you think I'm more of a Marvel or DC character? There's a right answer and a wrong answer to this, by the way.
Oh, okay. Well, tell me what the right answer is.
I think DC characters are too angsty.
Ooh.
Overall.
You can be kind of broody, though, sometimes.
I can have my moments.
You have angsty moments, too.
But so can Wolverine.
Sure. You want to be Wolverine?
No, because Johnny would fight me over Wolverine. That's his favorite.
All right, I'm going to pause that one. Let me think on it.
Okay. Mm-hmm. While you're thinking on that, let's move on. I don't even know if you know how to answer this one. Because I don't know if you've watched this. Which Sailor Moon character is Zach and why?
Oh, I don't even watch Sailor Moon. Okay, you guys have to understand. Like, I grew up kind of poor, right? So we didn't really have, like, true cable TV. We had, like, whatever was broadcasted over local stations.
Yeah, and Sailor Moon is not one of those things.
No, not at all. So, like, best I got was, like, Barney and Sesame Street and all that, like, on PBS. I got Saturday morning cartoons, you know? Oh, what was that one, like, segue that they used to do at ABC? Do 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 do. I'll be right back. It was like the little claymation cowboy. Yeah, with his little guitar.
I love Saturday morning cartoons.
It's true. I loved them too. But you only got 4 good hours. So even though you were like really wanting to sleep in, you got up at 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the morning to make sure you got your full cartoonage in.
That's true.
And this is what I don't understand about our own children is why are you getting up so early? We've got streaming. You can get cartoons any goddamn time you want.
I don't know.
Why are you up so early?
I think, have you ever played Assassin's Creed?
I mean, I've watched you play.
So Assassin's Creed, basically, you can live your ancestors' memories through genetics.
Okay.
Through this machine. I think they're somehow tapping into like your genetics or my genetics, and they're like, "It's time to get up, Saturday morning cartoons." But hey, guess what? Saturday morning cartoons could be Thursday evening cartoons.
That's very true.
You know? I think it's a lot of that.
Because streaming and technology.
So...
What was the question?
Sailor Moon. So I'm
Sailor Moon. Okay, so
Sailor Moon then.
I said all of that to say that I was not privileged enough to get Sailor Moon.
Yeah.
Now ask me what Jerry Springer person you resemble the most, and I could probably tell you pretty good.
You remember all the Jerry Springer episodes?
Well, there's...
It was Chicago guy, wasn't he?
Yes, Jerry Springer, hail from Chicago. He used to be like a radio host, right? And he was actually pretty well prevailed as like a journalist or something.
He's a local politician for a bit too, wasn't he?
Oh yeah, he did. I think he tried to run for governor.
Yeah.
So we're gonna research this and talk about it on the next podcast because now I'm intrigued. But then it just went like, hey, that doesn't sell, but sex and cheating and craziness sells. Sure. So we're just gonna get all of that.
Everybody likes drama.
Oh yeah. So like Ricky Lake was all about the look at me now, right? Like you didn't like me then, but look at me now.
Right.
And it was like hot or not, right? Mm-hmm. From not to hot.
That's true.
Or hey, I once was a man, but now I'm a sexy ass woman. You know, that it happened. Ricky Lake totally had the thing on that.
Sure, she had the market corner.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then there was Maury. It was all about the
paternity
to this
stuff.
day, I think he still does all the paternity things.
Yeah.
But you go. I mean, if that's your niche, you kill it. Okay.
Yeah.
Nobody else can get on that.
That's true.
But it was you are not the father, and then like the guy would flip a chair and be like, "I told you," and be all up in their face, and the woman would be crying, and she'd get up and like dramatically leave the stage, and the camera guy would go bobbling after her backstage and
find her crumpled up on a couch.
Oh yeah, and then Maury would come and like console her, and you have a beautiful baby, and you just love that baby the way you need to love that baby. You don't worry about him. And then the guy would come back and still be like a major dick.
It was either that. It was either he was a major dick, or he was like, I still love you and I care about you, and I'm gonna take care of the baby anyway.
Yeah, that's true.
But as soon as they left, that he probably
what was interesting is the dynamics of like, hey, I'm getting this paternity testing, but before I know the answer to the testing, I am going to call her every derogatory thing in the book, right? Be like, you such a hoe. It's like throwing a hot dog down a hallway.
Right.
What are the other ones? Every time you open your legs, all I can hear is... So, like, now you're trashing this woman who claims that you're the father of their child, to which you deny, and now she's a rancid hoe. Turns out you are the father, and now you're like, but I want my rancid hoe back.
With Johnny's recent trip to Japan, I got to thinking I should really talk about an Audible audiobook that centers around Japanese culture, and what better to talk about in reference to that than Godzilla. That's right, the movie just came out. Haven't had a chance to see that yet, but they have the official movie novelization for Godzilla, King of the Monsters on Audible. It's by Greg Keyes. It's narrated by Michael Braun. It's 8 hours and 59 minutes long, and it's got a pristine 5-star rating right now. So go take advantage of that. I love Godzilla. I hope you love Godzilla. And Tip, friend of the podcast, Larry Hill, 2-time guest of this podcast, huge Godzilla fan. Yeah, he had all the movies. He had, just Godzilla, standard Godzilla. And then he had like Godzilla versus Mothra and all that stuff. I think there was even like a mini, like a small Godzilla or something like that. Larry, you could help me out with that probably. Anyway, head over to audibletrial.com/jumbled and take advantage of that audiobook, Godzilla King of the Monsters, the official movie novelization. But hey, if that doesn't tickle your fancy, feel free to choose from one of the 180,000 other titles on their website. They've got everything you could ever want in an audiobook, and we hope that you guys enjoy. But hey, we love you. God. And then one day your baby is gonna trip. He's gonna traipse across this on the internet because it's never going to die. You know. Gosh, it's sort of like the Cash Me Outside. She's never gonna live that down. No. She's gonna be 45.
She peaked.
She's gonna be 45 doing mall tours and telling people to cash her outside.
She peaked already.
Anyway,
what was the question?
Sailor Moon.
Okay, we've answered that one.
Would you rather Zach with no beard or Zach with no hair? There's a right answer.
Both are very luscious. I'm going to say, if you've got the beard and you buzz your hair, you look very handsome still.
Thank you.
Yes. And it's not that I mind the no beard thing, but you look so much like your dad and things get strange.
That's true. It's true. And I sound like him too, sometimes.
Only when the beard is off. When the beard is on, you sound like Zach. When the beard is off, somehow... So my dad, growing up, every time we would say something silly, he would make this sound. And it was sort of like, I liken it to Tim Allen from Home Improvement, where he would like make some random sound. The grunt?
Yeah. But it wasn't a It was like
how did that go again? Oh my gosh. Sounds like Tim Allen has hemorrhoids.
He did. That's why.
Moving on.
Yeah. No, so my dad would go, ooh? That was his thing. And he still does it now.
He does it especially when the grandbabies are around.
Yes. Well, you can't do it to a 31-year-old man now.
Things like you can say to children, but not to adults.
If I walked in and was like, I thought I put this thing where it was, but it wasn't there, he wouldn't go, ooh? I'd be like, what are you doing? Yeah,
like, how if I would try to have a conversation with your dad? Do we say real names on this?
Let's leave Dad's name off of it.
Okay, so Dad.
Yeah.
Dad, what do you want for dinner tonight?
Ooh?
Okay, no, but seriously, you need to answer. What do you want for dinner tonight?
Chicken?
Like, he just sounds like an insane person. But he says it to a kid, all of a sudden it's like, yeah! Papa!
It's true. My dad is genuinely a
man-child?
10-year-old in a 50...
In a grown-ass man's body. Yes, I agree with that.
Does Zach crumple or fold his TP? Look at me. And...
He's a crumpler. No, we had this argument before.
Okay.
Because I was like, if you fold it,
right,
then you can get more swipes with the toilet paper. Because then you can, like, crisscross the folding.
Right.
And get multi-layers of poo to TP.
Right.
And you're like, no, just crumple it. And I'm like, yeah, but then you don't have the full protection of the palm, right?
Yeah.
And you crumple it and you use up more toilet paper that way.
See, my thought process behind crumpling versus folding is I would rather wipe my ass with something that has multiple different angles to catch shit as opposed to one flat plane where I smear shit across my asshole and gooch until it's clean.
So here's another thing that foreign countries do really, really well is toileting, right?
Sure, they just shit in a hole.
Right. So like Asian countries, right? So the hole is like almost on the ground, right?
Yeah, and they squat.
Don't quote me because I don't know exactly what Asian countries do this, but there's very specific Asian countries that do this.
Mm-hmm. You said doo-doo.
So they squat over this hole, and it actually is better for like your form, right?
It gets more out.
Right, because there's like these long ligament bands in your pelvic floor that helps hold everything up in place. Mm-hmm. And when you squat, that actually gets them out of the way so that when you apply pressure, you're least likely to have like hormones, you have better bowel movements, all that stuff, right? Mm-hmm. So other countries, like European countries, Johnny, you'll have to answer this. Canadian countries too? I wonder, my friend. Bidets. Mm-hmm. Beautiful little butt washing machines. Okay, yeah. So you do a little tinkle, you do a little sprinkle, and the toilet paper really is just there to dry you off.
It's true,
right? Because you imagine you get poop on your arm, right? And then you try to wipe it off with toilet paper. Do you feel like your arm is clean?
It depends how much I wiped it.
Okay, in comparison to running water on it,
sure.
Which would you feel is more clean?
Probably running water.
Right.
Yeah. But it also depends on the amount of shit as well.
That's very true.
Yeah. If you had like Taco Bell or something, then all bets are off,
Yeah. So the other day, we're going to go back to this because now we've gone on to poo stories. And it's just going to have to be a transition. Okay. So I have not been feeling the greatest lately. And my doctors are just kind of like trying to figure it out. Right? They're like, well, it could be this or it could be that. Let's do a bunch of diagnostic testing. Mm-hmm. They're like, so we're going to shove a camera up your ass and take a look around.
Sure.
Then we're going to shove a camera down your throat.
Yeah.
By the way, not the same camera. I was a little disturbed right when they told me that.
Well, which one are they doing first? You know, if you're going to shove it down my throat
It was kind of like both at the same time. I felt like a human kebab. Anyway. So, what they offer you... Now, mind you, most middle-aged men and women already know this. Sure. So, if you're older than like 38 or 39, go ahead and shut off the podcast for a few minutes because you've explored this. Hashtag this may be triggering.
Right.
So, they give you what they call bowel prep, which, by the way, tastes like the most rancid toilet bowl cleanser you could ever try to consume.
Right.
And then they try to give you tips like, well, suck on a lemon when you're doing this. And pretty much you just end up gagging and, like me, probably throwing up at least a little bit of whatever this bowel prep is.
Sure. So
then you start getting bubble gut and you're like, oh, it's going to happen. Right. I'm reading the, like, instruction manual prior to consuming this god-awful goo. Mm-hmm. And it literally said, be prepared for high-velocity diarrhea.
Yeah.
Exact words, verbatim. High-velocity diarrhea. I can only imagine myself with so much pressure coming from my ass. My whole body literally lifts off the throne. Okay?
Yeah, or you explode the toilet.
Right. I'm like, somebody had a sense of humor in writing this. This clearly cannot be it. Oh, no. There's warning labels for a reason. Yeah. Right? So, I drink the goo. I'm getting bubble gut. I'm like... My husband, who is wonderful, totally there for moral support, literally in the other room, just on the other side of the door.
Right.
And I go to the bathroom, and it is just like 3 straight hours. I'm like desperate. I'm crying on the toilet. I'm like, I just want to sleep, and I can't because it's just liquid hot magma coming from my bunghole. And you think you're over it, so you're like, okay, cool. I'm going to get up, and I'm going to go lay down. And I did that, 3 times before I realized the process of just trying to lay down when you think you're relieved really just shifts everything that may be hung up, on a corner somewhere.
Right.
And then all of a sudden your butt is screaming, warning!
We can't hold it!
And there is no holding it. Right. No. You think you can. You think you have... the strong arm of a god via your sphincter.
Sure.
And it's like,
You think you're like Thor and your sphincter is...
Yeah. No.
Is the hammer.
It's not. So if you ever have to prepare for a colonoscopy, just remember the warning. High velocity.
You might as well just drink the shit while you're on the toilet.
You might as well.
Because it was quick.
Oh, yeah. There was other, you go WebMD yourself and you're like, not only are you going to die from stage 4 cancer, but you should always bring, a laptop or a book with you to sit on the toilet. Yeah. Because you're going to be there for a while.
Yeah, you're not leaving.
And one of the first questions they ask you when you get there is, are you clear? And what they mean by that is, you should have drank enough water and enough of this prep where you're literally pissing clear liquids out of your butthole. That's the expectation. And if you're not, guess what you get to do again? Probably 3 weeks later, because God bless America, when you go to a specialist, it takes 6 months to get you scheduled in.
Yay. Johnny would have something to say about that right now. So yeah, and then the colonoscopy went well, and you're shit talking when I walked back. So that was good.
It was fun. Yeah, sedation rules, by the way.
Yeah, that was great. Okay. Would you rather cowboy Zach or preppy Zach? Do you like me groomed? Do you like me rough?
So I like you rough, but not cowboy rough.
You don't like me and my chaps? You don't like I bought the chaps for you.
No, I don't like the chaps.
I can't take them back.
Oh, well, then you're
going to have to wear it for took the tag else. Off of them.
Go find Codename Pickle. Go get you some Brokeback Strange.
Okay, so you don't like the spurs either.
No, I don't want the spurs either.
Okay.
I mean, it hurts when you dig them into my thighs. I don't like it. It's not funny either.
Well, I wonder what yeah, I'm sorry. Look, I just laugh because...
My name isn't Silver. We don't go hi-ho. No.
Yeah. So I don't remember exactly what the name of the sexual position is, but it's where you're doing it doggy style, right?
It's called the donkey punch.
I don't know, something.
And you punch her in the back of the head, and she tightens up.
Nope, I've never tried that one. Yes, that is a donkey punch, but I've never tried that one. Mostly because I respect you too much to punch you in the head.
And he knows I'll punch back.
Yes. There will be retribution. What it is you're doing it doggy style, and then you you say the wrong name. You say a different person's name, and then you try to hold on for as long as you can. It's like a bronco. Like, yeah.
I think that's what they call it, is the bronco.
Something like that. Yeah. Haven't tried that one out yet, but maybe when I'm feeling adventurous or something.
Yeah.
We'll see. I promise not to wear the spurs anymore. Okay. So you prefer a rough Zach, but not cowboy.
Not cowboy.
Okay. Do you like the look that I pull
late
off? Late
90s, mid 2010s, right? Like alternative.
So you like
grunge.
So you like it's like a mixture of like Fred Durst from Limp Bizkit, because I'm always wearing my backwards hats.
No, Durst is
Stop. I'm always wearing my backwards hats. So just that part of Fred Durst, not the cockiness or the assholishness.
Okay, you wear a good Durst hat.
Thank you. But I don't have he has buzzed head. I don't have the buzz head. Although I have before.
Your hair is luscious.
Correct. And although I hate it, it's everywhere all the time. It's not fun.
But you got that broody like hand soup thing going.
I mean, if it gets you going, I'll keep it. I'll keep it.
Keep it.
For that. And then the beard is...
All right. Sorry, go ahead.
The beard is like... Have you ever heard of Modest Yahoo?
Yes.
So it's sort of like Modest Yahoo.
One day.
He's a Hasidic Jew rapper. So he's got the big beard.
We like him.
Yeah, we do love him.
You gotta get the little curls on the side, though.
Yeah, I don't have that yet. I don't know if I can do the Jew curls.
We'll just get you extensions.
There you go.
Okay.
There we go. All right, and so this is the last question that Johnny has for me, and then we'll just open it up for whatever you want to talk about.
Okay.
We'll just give you a little stage for...
I don't need a stage.
Whatever.
I got a pull.
What is... I heard you. I haven't been yet. I'm sorry. I know you're looking...
Really?
I know it's like... when you had like a play when you were growing up, and you look out in the crowd and you're like, where's mom and dad? You know? I know you've probably been doing that when you're up on stage and you're like, where's
daddy?
Where's daddy?
Just to make you happy, daddy.
Yeah, and I just haven't shown up yet. I'm sorry.
That's all right. Go ahead.
I'll be there soon.
Next question.
What's a weird habit Zach has that you have grown to love?
Weird habit that I've grown to love? The snoring, maybe.
It's
not really a habit. I think it just, like, it's so normal now that, like, when you're not snoring, I almost wake up and be like, did you die? Did you just die right there? You motherfucker, are you dead right now?
Oh, yeah, we don't want that.
Baby's gotta eat and you gonna die right now.
We don't want that, especially after that Netflix show we watched recently.
That's terrible.
What was that called? Gerald's
Game?
Gerald's Game.
That was a mindfuck.
You guys should watch that.
Oh, first of all, it's a Stephen King novel, so read the book first, always, because I always am a proponent for reading books before the movies.
That is one difference that Stephanie and I have. Mm-hmm. She's a big reader. Not so much for me.
I almost wrote an angry letter and sent it straight to the White House over the Percy Jackson series and that terrible movie they made.
Oh, yeah, I remember you being upset about it.
I was like, that is not how it happens. You are fucking with the plot line. I just don't even believe what's happening right now.
It happens.
All up in my feels on that one.
So you would say snoring, even though it's not really a habit?
No, yeah, I mean, you get used to it.
That's one characteristic of myself that you've grown to enjoy.
I would say...
Is it enjoyment or is it just normalcy?
I would say it's the comfort of hearing that now. You know? Where at first maybe it was a little annoying or like intrusive, right? My peace and sleep. Now it's like, I know he's there because I can hear him sawing logs.
So what happens...
Through an entire cabin.
Sure. What happens when if I start working out, right, and I lose some of the weight because I have
Didn't Johnny have you on this for a while where he was saying,
you know what, we're long overdue for
You have a terrible love affair with soda, especially the dew.
It's so bad.
You would do it for the dew.
I would do a lot of things for the dew.
But I won't do that.
I might do that.
Pickle! Like, you don't even hear the zip yet. You're like, pickle! Pickle down, pickle!
You're getting so loud, babe.
Sorry.
It's okay. I'll just have to do it. I'll have to go through it and post. Quiet you down a little bit.
I'm not loud. I just project. He got angry with me, thinking I was angry with him earlier.
Okay, let's hash it out. Okay, First of all, I came home. Okay, doing a responsible thing. Responsible. Okay, first of all, we left. There was like a birthday party at the Splash Pad today. It's a new thing opened up in our town.
Because we're parents like that. The Splash Pod.
We went to the Splash Pad and the kids really loved it. And we're going to go back a lot this summer.
Yeah. And I left and I got me the Starbucks.
Yes. So, okay. So
Gonna go get me a couple of the chinos at the Bucks.
Yep. So you went and you picked those up. I
got 2 because I think of my husband.
You asked me before you left. So
I wanted to make sure he would enjoy it.
And I did. Thank you. And so I get home first because you're picking up the Starbucks. I didn't know how long the way to the Starbucks was. So I literally got home like 2 minutes before you. It must have been really quick through the drive-thru or in and out, whatever.
Because the pre-order app is the shit.
Okay. So I
get your stars.
There you go. So I get home. Me and Lydia walk around the back. I see the plants are looking a little wilty. First of all, I did some gardening this past weekend.
He did a bang-up job, by the way.
Thank you. The plants are looking a little worse for wear, though, because I think they're taking a while to
first day.
Yeah, they're taking a while to sort of take to the ground. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to keep up with them. I was laying some water on them because it was a nice, hot, dry day.
Did you lay it on them for real?
I sprayed them.
Did you lay out your hose? For the thirsty flowers?
Yeah, it was as long as the garden hose, but I did not do that. I'm sure that probably wouldn't help.
All them flowers are like, whip it out for us, Zachary. We're thirsty. We need the hose.
So I'm watering all the plants, right? Takes maybe 2 minutes, whatever.
Mm-hmm. And go ahead. I'm like, meanwhile, but no, go ahead. You tell your side.
And so I go up the steps, unlock the back door because our foundation's having some issues right now, so shit's not aligning, so our front door doesn't fully latch close, so I had to install additional security thing that requires us to go around back the house through the back door to the front door. You gotta open it from the inside, pretty much, yeah. So I go around back, I open the door. While I just walk through the door, I hear knock at the door, so I'm like, oh, they're already home. So I go to walk to the front door, and it's Sophie. And she's standing there knocking on the door, so I let her in. Then I look out there, and you're nowhere. So I'm like, maybe she just literally just walked around the corner. No big deal. It's not going to be a problem. So I'm going out to get my bag out of my trunk, and I turn around, and you're like, do you want chocolate or caramel?
First of all, I said a mocha.
Well, whatever.
Sorry, I keep creaking the chair.
So that's where I am with it.
Okay, so he said, she said. She says, guys, you don't even understand. You if you've ever had a colonoscopy, you ain't right. You just straight up ain't right for I don't even know how long because I haven't even gotten right yet. So when the urge to poop happens, it is freaking urgent. Okay, so I go up to one mocha iced yum yum drink in hand and one caramel yum yum drink in the other hand. I'm like, I'm gonna treat my hubs. So I tap my foot against the front door and I wait, and then I yell through the window, hello, and I wait, and I tap my foot and I bang my elbow and I do all sorts of noise to see if I can get someone's attention to open the door. So finally, after a minute and a half of that, I'm like, forget it, I'm just gonna walk around. Meanwhile, the urgency to poop is there and growing. My butthole is literally whispering, please help me. This is not going to be pretty in a second. You need to poop. So I'm walking around the back and I still don't see Zach. I'm thinking he's got to be by the back door. So I come in the back door and I'm like, Zach, and no answer. So I'm like, what the hell? And then I see Sophie pop through and I know she's gone through the front door. I'm like, what the hell? I'm chasing this man to give him this coffee, this unpoop-tainted coffee, because really what's going to happen is both of these coffees are going to come to the toilet with me because I'm not getting off the toilet without being able to drink my coffee, and he needs to be able to have the other one. So either he gets to choose what coffee flavor he wants while I'm christening the throne, or I'm going to find him and I'm going to give him the coffee. So I'm standing on the front door, and he's at the end of the driveway, and we live on a busy street, so I am projecting. I'm not loud. I am not angry. I'm not screaming. I'm projecting. I'm throwing my voice over the traffic way, over the distance, laden with love. Do you want mocha or do you want caramel?
But there's a way to say that lovingly, though. You could be like, if I felt
okay,
love, if I wanted to feel the love, I know poop was coming out of your butt. I get it, right? Poop was coming out.
So there was an urgency.
Right, I get the urgency. But
and then he had to cop attitude with me.
If there was sprinkled with love in there, it would have been like, dear, would you like caramel or mocha?
Did you not see the love in my eyeballs?
No, this is what I saw. Mocha, wide eyes. Mocha or caramel?
The eyes were wide and white.
Because of
the poop urgency. It was taking all of my effort of every ounce of my muscle to keep my sphincter shut.
I'm sorry.
I only had enough energy left to project my voice over the traffic noise.
Yeah,
enjoy your goddamn coffee.
I did. It was great. So that's all of Johnny's questions.
Thank you, Johnny.
Thank you, Stephanie. I appreciate you being on.
Is this the wrap of the mini-sode?
I think so. This isn't even a mini-sode. Honestly, we've been going for 50 minutes.
I'm okay with this.
This is not a mini-sode anymore. This is an episode.
Okay.
At this point.
You are welcome.
Thank you. We will have you on again if you so choose.
Sure. You gotta come up with another Q&A, I guess.
Yeah, or maybe we do like Johnny Gets Allie.
Oh, yes.
And then
yes.
And then we figured something out with that.
Just do some boy bashing, it's fine.
Yeah. We do like we could do like an anti-jumbled where it's, or maybe it's like just a female jumbled where you and Allie are doing jumbled. That'd be fun.
That would be fun.
Just talk shit on us the whole time.
We call it Jumbled.
Jumbled.
It's French.
Yeah, because she's French Canadian. Is that what you're saying? Okay.
No, because of the poussé and a
couleur. All right, guys. At this point, let's wrap this thing up. I love you.
I love you.
Thanks for listening, guys. If you want to send us any emails, that would be jumbledpodcast@gmail.com. Steph, you can go to the toilet if you need to. Too late. Or you could send an email. You could send an email to...
Why is it so sticky?
johnny.jumbled@gmail.com.
I'm gonna need some new pants.
Dick pics only in that account, please. We're on all social media at Jumbled Podcast. If you want to listen to us on any other platform, we're on pretty much all of them right now. I do need to get on Pandora Radio still. Have not done that yet, but we're on SoundCloud, Stitcher, Google Play Music, iTunes.
Look for their new butthole segment on Reddit.
Yeah, Flying Beehole. They're running Beehole Challenge. We're going to be on there. It's going to be a jumbled episode, and somehow I'm going to travel through a wormhole, which is what I call my asshole. I'm going to travel through my own asshole, and I'm going to come out of Johnny's asshole.
Seems appropriate.
Yeah.
I really should get that treated, by the way.
I should. But I like the itch, Anyway. That's another sexual...
I just really wish you went scooted across the carpet.
Gotta do what you gotta do, right? And head over to our sponsor. Hey, guys, Audible, thank you so much for sponsoring this fantastic...
By the way, I just received that letter from Audible that said, please stop saying our name. This is your 5th notice. We will seek legal counsel.
Right, yeah. audibletrial.com/jumbled. Get a free 30-day trial and a free audiobook. I'm sure they have something on there related to colonoscopies. So just read up on it. Be prepared.
Research.
Be prepared. That is one thing that my wife, if I know my wife and there's a couple word description for my wife, is that she comes prepared.
Witch hazel. That's all I gotta say about that.
Witch hazel. Yep. Tighten everything back up. Or head over to Patreon, patreon.com/jumbled. And donate $500. Get us an address. Me and Johnny on the Patreon page. I don't know if you've been over to there. There's a $500 tier that nobody will ever donate to. Because I don't expect people to. But it's there. And
it's almost like you're challenging people to donate that amount by saying nobody would ever do that.
I'm not doing that at all. Because I have faith that nobody would ever do that. But me and Johnny would record an extra episode of the podcast in a dress. and I'm gonna ask for your help.
Okay, but if I can't see you.
No, we're gonna do a video.
Oh, it's video
thing.
cast.
Yeah. So
vlog.
No, we're just gonna be like, oh, we're in dresses right now. Isn't this fun? No. So head over to Patreon. Give what you feel comfortable giving. $500 would be appreciated though, because I got mouths to feed. And what else? Oh, head over to iTunes. Leave us a rating and review. It does help out a lot. We're trying to get some additional sponsors for you guys. We do appreciate the help that Audible has given us, but we do want to offer some additional sponsors that you guys might relate to more. So that will help us. That'll be the biggest way you can help us. Another way you can help is just by sharing. And I sort of want to do, I want to try to find out a way to do like a sticker promotion where I just send, like, people can sign up for stickers and I just send them stickers and they can just smack them up all over the place.
It will also be his chocolate starfish.
Yeah, it's just going to be my asshole that says, listen to Jumbled.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And a nice, that curved, like, text around the butthole.
Yeah, I still prefer the term balloon knot, so we're going to go with that. Anyway, guys, that's going to be it. Thanks for listening, and we will catch you guys for next week for another episode of Jumbled, your favorite podcast. What is this podcast about, Steph?
The train wreck that is our relationship. I don't know.
The train wreck, that's our... Alright, guys, well, I guess I'm going to be looking for a new wife later.
Upgrade.
I don't know. It's not an upgrade. Alright, guys, we'll see you guys next week. Bye. Just a quick update before, just dead space happens. Still not divorced. So, as rocky as the end of that podcast was, I guess the relationship isn't so much of a disaster. Because I'm still wearing this ring. So, yeah, I don't know why. That's it. See you guys next week.